I am a Mets fan, and I am not the only one that is going to sit here and say that this is the most fun as a Met fan as I've ever had. The David Wright era was great, but it didn't come with a lot of winning. It also didn't come with a lot of spending and a lot of intrigue to the following season. The Mike Piazza era was awesome. I love that era, but it didn't come with a lot of spending. It didn't come with a lot of winning, and we had owners that thought about themselves, right? So now we're in the Steve Cohen era. We are in an era where we have an owner who's going to do whatever, however it takes to get his guy, right? So we got that guy. We got Juan Soto. Juan Soto's got this massive contract, and he is a generational talent and is getting paid big bucks. And I think that he is going to have a fantastic career completely as a Met. Now, our next issue is the Pete Alonso saga. I'm to the point where I want this to be over. I really, really want this to be over. And how do I want this to be over? I want it to be over by the Mets moving on. May 11th of 24, Alonso was offered 7 years at a $158 million price tag, right? And declined the offer. Why? I guess he wanted more. Not the years. I guess he wanted more mills. I would have taken it. But let's say if Pete Alonso had taken that offer, where would the Mets stand now? Would the Mets be in a situation where they're shopping him, where they're like, hey, we're going to look to trade you? But with the decline that Pete Alonso has had, who's going to want him? Who's going to take on that massive contract, right? Because it's not a massive contract, 7 years at 158, right? But it's the years where where the entanglement comes into play. Pete Alonso is in a decline right now. Didn't run the bases well. Had tons of strikeouts. Runners in scoring position wasn't good. His defense was shoddy. Base running shoddy. So right now it's like, wow, you're asking for 3 years, which Pete Alonso offered the Mets and Steve Cohen 3 years, and still there's no. Okay, well, 3 years sounds good. We can do that, right? There's none of that happening right now. So what's the next move? A report came out that the New York Mets have inquired about Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero is 25. He's going to be 26. Younger, better glove, has a Gold Glove under his belt. It's a better hitter, and I think that he's a better seat filler. One is going up, and the other one is going down. Can Pete Alonso find space on this team? Can Pete Alonso move over to the DH spot? I mean, I would, honestly. And I would for two reasons. One, I don't want to leave the team. This team looks like it has a great chance to be contenders, championship caliber teams for the years to come. Right? And the Mets could use a DH. I think we have space for it, but does Pete Alonso want to do that? Would Pete Alonso put his ego aside and say, "Hey, all right, you didn't take the 3-year offer. Take a 2-year offer. Take a 2-year offer, and let's go get Vladdy." Can the Mets do something like that, or is it better for the Mets to just completely move on and offer a few prospects, a pitcher for Vladimir Guerrero? I say move on. I say it's time to look to the future. It's time to come to reality, because I mean, reality's already there. No other team wants Pete Alonso unless the Angels get desperate or San Francisco gets desperate, and they say, "All right, well, we'll give you 6 years. We'll give you 6 years at 110." But it's time to move on. I do have to say that Pete Alonso has become a fan favorite. He definitely has. I say that with a grain of salt moving on. But when you think about the business aspects, the Mets have to do this. The Mets have to move on from Pete Alonso.